Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah. You already know that because my name is somewhere down there. I spent 5 years in the multi-level marketing industry. I was gaslit, I was lied to, I was manipulated, and now I'm here so that you don't make the same mistakes I did. Let's get started. Hello, how was your week? How was my week? It is Valentine's Day week when I am filming this, which is like basically a regular week, but Chris did ask me to be his Valentine, which is completely adorable. And for all of my men who are watching these videos, the reason she wants you to ask her to be your Valentine is because she wants to know that you are thinking of her other than the day of Valentine's Day. I work in retail, and you know what I spent all day doing? Watching men scramble last minute to buy the wiltiest, most disgusting flowers that were left over that have been sitting around for almost a week and a half now, but they waited till very last minute to get their hands on Valentine's stuff because it's the day of. So ask her to be your Valentine. Don't wait till the day of. Do it before so that she knows you were thinking about her. That is why it's important. We have visitors already today because there's a dog outside. Okay, so today we are going to be watching another sticker opportunity call. Well, okay, it's kind of like an opportunity call. It's an Instagram live. Two girls who are in the Super Patch company. If you're not familiar with what Super Patch is, it is a no ingredient patch that is a replica of the CEO's fingerprint. People stick it on their body and they claim that it gives them balance and energy and all this, in my opinion, BS. And we are going to hear about how it has changed these two Huns' lives, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it. I have been waiting all week to watch this video. I am so excited. But before we do that, as a reminder, I am not a doctor. I am not a lawyer. I am not a veterinary technician. As much as I love pets, I don't think I have it in me. Everything in my videos is strictly that, my opinion. I consider myself having an informed opinion, goodbye, because I was in multi-level marketing for so long. I feel like I have an inside scoop on what really happens when you're in there for such a long time and you're brainwashed all of the time, and these uplines are telling you BS and you're being fed all these lies. And so I just feel like I have a little insight that other people don't necessarily have, and I feel like my opinion has some weight to it. That is why we are here. I create these videos to deter people from joining multi-level marketing companies. These videos can also be used to show people who are currently in multi-level marketing companies just a different view of something. The way I got out of multi-level marketing was stumbling upon a anti-MLM video that happened to have the company I was in featured in her video. And that's when I started to ask questions. So I want these to be out, available to people who are just starting to question what is going on within their own company, and they just want different perspective, different points of view. They want some questions answered, and that's what I'm here for. So we're not here to spread hate. We're not here to degrade people or make anybody feel bad, but use these people as examples as to the weird practices and what they think is normal activities that simply are not, because once you are within the MLM organization and you are being surrounded by stuff like that all of the time, you start to think it's normal when it's absolutely not. So these are just examples. This is just so us on the outside can just go, and so people on the inside can go, oh. and kind of step back and realize maybe there's something wrong here, you know? So without further ado, let's start this video. I have my iced coffee because, you know, it is Valentine's Day when I am filming this. Christopher gets off at close to midnight because he is a chef. So this is like Black Friday for chefs. He's going to be so busy. He's going to be dead beat tired. So I plan on being in something very, very skimpy later. Sorry, mom and dad, because he deserves it and he's amazing. So iced coffee it is. Let's watch this video. Let's see what's going on here.
Hello, Facebook friends. I am so excited about tonight because I'm going to introduce you guys to somebody very incredible. She is so well respected in this wellness and industry. She is just absolutely incredible. Her name is Rikki. And it's so funny because when I met her, everyone all has the same things to say about her, that she is just so trusted. She's been doing health and wellness for so long. She has built amazing teams, you guys. She actually was a holistic practitioner as well. Lots and lots of knowledge. She is just simply incredible, and I really want you guys to meet her. So I'm going to be bringing her on with me tonight, and then she's going to tell you how she landed here at Super Patch, because she has had her ups and downs in the industry, right, with products and different kinds of companies. Hi, Jairus. Hi, Angie. Hi, Sarah. Thanks for hopping on. She has had her ups and downs and her shares of great and bad products, you know, all the things. And actually, she was no longer going to be in the health and wellness space in network marketing anymore. Kind of took a little hiatus. And then she came back, and she came back with a vengeance, literally with Super Patch, which I'm super, super excited for her to share her story. I think she is coming on. Let me see. Hold on. I just saw her notification, but now I cannot find it. Where did it go? Here she is. Okay. All right. She is popping on.
Let's see.
Hi, Rikki.
Hi.
Let me see if I can hear you. Okay.
Okay, can you? Let me make sure my volume. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah. You're very quiet to me, but that's okay. That's how it normally is. And then when we watch back, it won't be so quiet.
We'll make sure. Can everybody else hear me? It might be what I have my phone on, like my phone stand.
Yeah, can everybody hear Rikki? Give us some hearts if you can hear her.
Because if not, I'll just have to, I can't get my computer to work. Facebook hates me right now. I don't know what the deal is. They change it all the time. They change the settings. Wendy, you're on. Can you tell me if you can hear? Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you now.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I just gave you a great welcome. I was just telling everyone that you are like so well respected in this industry, and that everyone trusts you with like their newborn child, and how knowledgeable you are, how you were a holistic practitioner, how you've had your ups and downs in the industry, everything. So I kind of just told everyone that you landed here at Super Patch after taking a quick little hiatus. And I just kind of wanted to explain, or have you explain to them, how you landed here and why Super Patch.
Okay, fastest story ever. I started in health and holistic wellness 19 years ago. So I love your audience because I can be really like honest with y'all. So my oldest son actually had a really scary vaccine injury. And so it changed everything for me. Like I grew up normal, right? Like hamburger helper. I went to public school. Like everything was total, like normal American. And we were, our first couple of years of our marriage were normal. And then this happened with my son. And so it changed everything. I immediately started researching. I changed everything about our lives. And so from that moment on, 19 years later, so I have 8 children now. My youngest is 3. My oldest is 21. So they've never had a med in their bodies since. I'm telling you, when I flipped it, it was like instant. And so my oldest 2, we did have to heal from eczema and asthma initially years ago, right? That was one of my first things. And then I spent like years obsessed and super passionate about everything health, everything holistic. And it became, right, I was super empowered to help other moms that had no idea what they were doing, learn that your kids know, your bodies are brilliant. They know what to do, right? So I spent 10 years first learning everything on the physical side of that. Everything, herbs, nutrition, chiropractic. Like I loved all of that. And then about 9 years ago, I started learning about the flip side, or really the connection piece, which was how the mind body connection, how you can heal your body with your mind alone. And this was even more fascinating to me. So I really went in depth. I did tons of trainings there, and then ended up after in 2020 when all that crazy stuff went down. And we were all worried we were going to end up like in FEMA camps or whatever, right? I was like, I might as well finish out. I've done lots of training throughout there. So I finished out, and I was a holistic practitioner where we focused on all three, physical, emotional, and spiritual. We would address all three. That's how you actually find good health, blah, blah, blah. At the same time, doing network marketing. And yeah, nasty stories there. Took a long break. Super Patch fell in my lap. And after all that little rambling, just for me to tell you that instantly I knew this is wild. This is incredible. If this works like they say it works, this is game changing. Like this will be the simplest thing I've ever been able to do, right? And I didn't think people were ready for it. I say that all the time. And I feel sad that I thought so poorly of the rest of the world, I guess, but that's where I was. I thought people aren't ready for this. I spent years trying to help people do stuff, and people don't listen. It's part of the reason I'm actually I could be an incredible practitioner, but I ended up stopping that altogether. Like I don't even take patients anymore because it's so hard. Like people don't want to change. They don't want to change stuff. They don't want to do all the work that it takes. So easy for me it's been the patches. Like I just opened my mouth once. I did one post about it and it blew up like beyond my wildest imagination. And since then, right, it's thousands upon thousands of people and testimonies, like wild.
So it's very, very scary for me when someone who's considered prominent and reliable and in a position where they are informed and they have a higher education and they have these certifications are then advocating for these MLMs, because people tend to just follow blindly when they are being presented this information by someone who is supposed to be trustworthy and who is supposed to be, even though she's not necessarily in the medical community, she's in the holistic medical community, people are still going to look to her for advice. They're going to look to her as someone with knowledge and someone with power. And when someone like that is advocating for a multi-level marketing company and has financial gain on the line, it puts people in such a bad position because they don't really know what they're getting themselves into. They are just trusting this person. They are just relying on this person's testimony, this person advocating for this product or for this company, and not doing necessarily all of the research themselves, which we see all the time anyways. I know traditionally people who get into MLMs, they will say, oh, I did all the research, I asked all the questions. In my experience, being in that realm, people don't ask the questions. People don't have a long list of qualifications that they want a company to meet. They don't have a criteria on what companies they are willing to join because of this, this, and this. It's usually just based around who can do the best convincing. And so when someone has a certification and education backing that, it makes it really hard for people to not understand how it is a scam, because this is a scam in my opinion. It's a non-ingredient sticker that's supposed to help with your health. No, dog. No. But because this person is educated and because this person is certified and has been in the holistic medical community for a long time, they are considered a reliable source when they are advocating for something that is absolutely not reliable, in my opinion.
Wild. So when I say it again, I love this because as a former practitioner, because that's what it is, I'm really not anymore, I can help so many more people with no liability, and I can help every single one of them. I'm 100% confident I can help every person that comes to me now.
Right.
And that is crazy.
Right, and they're not gonna have any side effects, any wonky stuff like medicine gives, because there's no ingredients in here, right?
Right.
I think that's the hardest part for people to like wrap their minds around, and everyone's like, well, how does this work? And we can say all the time like braille for the brain, right? Like our skin obviously can tell if we draw the letter S on our back, or we can feel heat without seeing it, right? Like we have those like receptors. And I try to explain that over and over again. And sometimes it's just not sticking with people. How would you simply put to someone, how are these helping people if there's nothing in them?
Yeah, well, I mean, yes, what you just said, the whole
Yeah.
braille for the brain thing. In the same way, if you were to look outside and it's a beautiful sunny day, and you're like, yes, I'm excited to go outside and like stand in the warmth, and you go outside and it's actually 20 degrees. And how did you know that it was 20 degrees? Right? The
Right.
only way you knew that is your skin told you. We have these sensors all over us. You instantly know if, right, you instantly feel humidity, you instantly feel, right, all of these things. And so it's really that simple. We have these all over our bodies. Now, the technology and the research that Jay has done, because this was 15 plus years of Jay's research, but on
When she says sensors, does she mean nerves? Is that what she's trying to say? Because we have nerves and that's how we have sensitivity. Sensors. We're going with sensors? Okay.
top of Jay's research, he was piggybacking other geniuses who earned a Nobel Prize, actually. He piggybacked their research, took it a step further. And so, that's a little more complicated, but each of our neural pathways has a specific code attached to it. They speak in code. And so all that Jay did was, after again, all that Jay did, years of research and doing this, right, was we have 13 right now, and they each are directly connected to a different neural pathway, because all we're doing, okay, I don't know if people know, I think you've told Jay's story. His mom had MS, right? And he was looking for a solution. The thing that stuck out in his brain, and the thing that when I told you I learned 9 years ago, this body mind connection of realizing, whoa, like our brains are programmed and our body responds to whatever our brains are programmed, right? So when you realize that, so all that Jay was told is, hey, there's a miscommunication between your mom's brain and her body or her nervous system, whatever, right? And that's all that it is. Everything's working perfectly, but there's this miscommunication. So that's what got him into it, is just trying to connect, to bring balance to each of these pathways, because they're damaged for a million reasons, right? Over time, either they were damaged in when you're a child, because that's another little fun fact, right? Our brains are actually programmed, 90% of them are programmed by the time you're 7 years old. So all of this, that's why I also am super passionate about parenting. Like, I love talking about how to raise and create the healthiest little human you can, because there's a lot on our plates as a parent. Like, it's pretty terrifying, right? Like, it's actually terrifying to think, like, I am in charge of programming this human forever. Like, their bad traits when they're an adult are likely going to be linked back to some shiz I did when they were little, right? Like,
It's really, and I'm going to step lightly here because I am a parent and I understand how hard it is to be a parent, and I understand nothing you ever do as a parent is going to be perfect. There is no right way. It's not black and white when you're parenting, so I'm going to say this as compassionately as possible. It is rich coming from somebody who is choosing to bring multi-level marketing into your home, where it absorbs most of your time. You are attached to your phone 24/7, trying to push your team, trying to hit monthly goals, trying to post on social media, trying to do Instagram lives. And if you weren't paying attention in the beginning of this video, you literally saw her child running back and forth in the background of her live. So that tells me that she has taken time out of her night to push her multi-level marketing company instead of spending time with her child, which usually I wouldn't say anything about. Usually I would advocate for parents to do stuff in their own time, away from their kids. You want to watch a movie at night, that's fine. You want to watch a show at night, that's fine. The kids are running around, you're having your own time, that's fine. Coexisting with your children is a realistic life goal. But she is making a point about how she advocates for good parenting for the first 7 years of life, when the example she's showing is to be on a Instagram live peddling these super patches when her child is running around in the background. So it just doesn't translate well for me. I'm not trying to be judgmental. As a parent, I understand the struggle, and nothing we can ever do is going to be good enough for the next person. But if you're going to stand on a pedestal and claim yourself to be an advocate for good parenting, probably don't want to have your child running around in the background of your Instagram live while you're peddling this magical sticker, in my opinion.
That's like a big thing. So, so they're not programmed properly when you're young, and that can be from environment. It's not just parents, environment, school,
Right.
Or accidents, car accident, or sports, lots of heavy metals, toxicity. There's so many reasons that those pathways are not functioning properly. So it's super, super simple. You put it on, and your skin instantly reads the little pattern, that's on there, reads that pattern. It sends an instant message to whatever part of that brain it is, that pathway, and then in turn, your brain sends the correct message back to your body, right?
Yep.
And examples of this are: I am balanced, I am strong, I have a strong immune system, I have beautiful glowing skin, I have energy, right? We have 13 different ones, so pick whichever one, and it's just sending the right message to your body.
Got it. Yeah. I'm just still laughing at the fact that you said you're passionate about parenting. I'm like, I hope so after 8 kids.
No, really.
That's why I was laughing. I was like, I hope you are.
I've got to either be part of the solution, or I'm going to be sending out 8 wild ones into the world, right?
So do your kids, any of your kids use these patches for a certain reason? And what have you seen out of using these patches? How long have you guys been using them?
No. Are we going to do this again? We're going to do this again. Another parent who is subjecting their child as essentially an experiment for these multi-level marketing products, because they haven't been tested properly. They are not vetted the same way as other things are. And we already know that the health and wellness industry is not regulated correctly. So essentially, we are the experiment for it. We are. So she is subjecting her children to be experiments for these super patches, which is effing disgusting.
How long?
So, right at a year. So I used them a few months before sharing them. And yeah, all ages of my kids use them. The only thing you would ever worry about with little ones is that they might put it in their mouth. Okay. So on my youngest, she started when she was 2, and I would put it on her back, just above her shoulder blades, right? And what's amazing, if we go back to the whole, your brain is programmed a certain way. So like, if you did have that issue since you were young, that's the reason that like all the clinical studies are done on 2 weeks and 4 weeks, right? And it's another reason that children respond really quickly, because their brains haven't been programmed that long, or they're still in programming phase.
Right.
So I mean, they're instant for the kids, like so quickly. Multiple times, my little one would have a like a runny nose or a cough, and I stick that immune system on her, and it's like gone in 15 minutes and then doesn't come back, right? Like
that's wild.
That is wild.
Yeah.
It is wild. We use peace for, when they're fussy, or joy when they're fussy. Any little injuries. I mean, again, 8 kids, we've got all kinds of, whether it's bug bites, ant bites, or just like a fall. We've had lots of deep gashes, a couple of burns. So instantly I'll put the piece on me and on the kid to chill us out so we can assess the situation. And so a peace patch instantly.
Imagine getting burned as a child or getting injured as a child, and your mother or parent or whoever's first response is to stick a sticker on themselves and then on you. What? What is happening here? What the is happening here?
And then usually freedom is next, right? Which is the pain one. And it's instant for helping instantly take away that pain. And then that's amazing for burns too, because burns are tough, right?
Yeah.
Like they're the ones that hurt for a long time.
Do you
So
use
freedom
Lumi?
and Lumi.
Do you? Okay, yeah.
That's what freedom and Lumi are the two we use for
Wow.
burns. And it's amazing the difference. So the kids all know which ones are their favorites. Like I have a little dude that's prone to anger instead of worry. And so joy is like his patch. Like it's amazing. And that's what's amazing too, is that they gravitate towards them. They know when they need them. They'll come, get them themselves.
Right.
They love the sleep ones.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, I know some people have asked me too, a couple times, and I would love to hear your spin on this. If people are like, will this in the long run help, like, have it not just be like a Band-Aid effect? Like, I know it doesn't cure, but will it make things get better? Like if someone's prone to migraines, will it help their migraines settle down over time of using this patch? Like something like that.
Depending on what the cause is, right? So, if I use peace is a great example on that. Like someone who's lived in a stressful situation for a really long time might feel the effects of peace really quickly. And they're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And they need it daily for a while. My oldest daughter is an example, actually. So she's the one that's 21. She had severe depression and anxiety from heavy metal toxicity and black mold that we lived in. And so even though we had detoxed her, like those pathways weren't reconnected. And she didn't realize how bad it was until after being on peace and joy for a week, she came back and was like, what on earth? Like she'd been really missing out on life. Like she couldn't even believe how debilitating it had been before, right? Until you're out of it. And then you're like, what? And so she needed them every day for a few months. Every day, those were her patches. She did not go without them. And now she doesn't have to wear them daily, right? Which is amazing. So the whole point is you want them to work themselves out of the job. Now, it's not always going to be possible. What if she lives in a stressful situation, or what if her job is stressful, or whatever, right?
Like something can trigger it again. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah. And so you might need to use them again. She's used Defend a lot too. That's been her other big patch because she's super prone to different allergies, and whether it's cat or seasonal or whatever. And same thing, right? Like over time, it's less and less you have to use because that they are to bring your body back into balance. And then your body knows what to do after that, right? That's so it's like a retraining. Yeah. So Stan asked, will the brain retrain or reset? And that is what you're doing. You're putting everything back to factory settings. I use an analogy a lot too. So for people who do like Joe Dispenza and Greg Braden, all of those. So for years in life, I was always teaching people. It's one of the because we talk about how your programming is set before you're 7, right? Mm-hmm. And then as an adult, 90% of your day is run on this programming that was set before you were 7. That kind of feels like some BS right there.
Right.
Wait, hang on. I didn't really have any control over that. So for years, that's part of the reason I did so much training is I wanted to help people get.
I'm sorry, this whole thing sounds like BS. Saying that your whole entire brain, and there may be studies behind this, I don't have time to look into it. I might look into it later tonight. There might be studies behind this saying that a lot of your brain patterns or how you deal with things are substantially built and programmed into your brain around 7. But I'm so sorry, your entire personality and the way you handle things and the way you survive through life is completely programmed by the time you're 7. I don't think so. This sounds very, very much like an MLM scare tactic that they are honing in on because it plays into the narrative that they're trying to feed us. So I'm not buying this BS. Like she's saying, oh, that's BS. The whole thing sounds like BS. That doesn't sound legit. It sounds like something you're using so that you can peddle your MLM product. I'm sorry.
Get out of that. Okay, so how do you retrain? How do you reprogram? And it's actually pretty complicated. You can't retrain your subconscious mind with your conscious mind. They don't, right? Like that's just not the way it works. So there was so much in-depth stuff that I would have to do with people, and I was training them, and you're doing, you know, this at these different times a day. People use hypnotherapy a lot for it because you're getting into the subconscious part of your brain to retrain. And so what's fascinating about the patches, because when you're talking about retraining, it's the same thing as like redoing a new habit. So if you can imagine in your mind, there's like two paths. You have this path you're always going on that's super normal.
Right.
Like that's where you go, that's where you go. And so you want to do a new habit. And so you have to manually for, you know, what people say 21 days, 27 days, whatever. You're over here reshape. You have to dig your own path. You're on this path. You're digging it. You're like, you have to physically make this path. And it's every single dang day until it gets clear enough where you can easily walk on it. And there will be so many days that you will wake up and you're back on that effing path you don't want to be on.
Right.
Right? Like you're like, oh my God. And what the patches do that is so mind blowing to me is that it's like you put on a patch and just like this new path is just, whoa, it's just open. It's just the right path. There's none of that digging. There's none of that stress. It's there and you're on the right one. And all you have to do is put it on and you're there. That's what blew me away from the beginning, because I had spent years training people, and I still love that, and I still think so much of that is super useful because we don't have every patch yet that you might need, right?
Yes.
But we have a lot of them, and so to have that ability to put it on and there you are, you're where you need to be is, I mean, it feels like too easy. It's like a cheat sheet. And
yeah, absolutely. What was the first one you tried? Like the first one you tried that really like made a big difference for you? Do you remember?
Yeah, so it took me a little bit. I was using Liberty, Ignite, and Peace together. And mine was different because, like, my daughter was that.
Imagine having to put 3 patches on. We're yapping and being all excited about all these patches and how amazing they are and how they're no ingredients, but they can repath your brain and just solve world hunger and just everyone will be gloriously happy and healthy. And you're wearing 3 patches on the regular? That just seems so extreme to me.
You know, she knew within a few days, a week. Mine was I used them every single day thinking, I don't really know that these are really doing anything. And so I stopped them completely. And then I was like, oh, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's when and I know that so much of mine is because, man, I've worked for so long to find balance myself. Like I've done that for years and years and years, trying to find this balance. So I don't feel like I was super extreme on any of them, but still now it's weird. You feel superhuman. Like when you're on now, it's so weird. You don't even feel an age. You just feel good. Like it's so wild. And so now I easily feel them. Now when I'm on them, it's a definite difference that I can feel,
because you notice it now. I like to explain to my people, it's like going to the gym. Every day you come back from the gym and you look in the mirror, like I do this. I worked out for 2 days 2 weeks ago, literally 2 days, and I look in the mirror and I'm like, I don't feel any different. It's like, well, of course you don't, but like if you look in the mirror every day, you don't see it. And then one day if you stop looking and it's been like 2 weeks and you look back, you're like, oh, wow, what a difference, right? It's kind of like that when you stop taking your patches, because it's hard to notice because you're feeling good. You're feeling good. But then once you stop, you're like, oh, okay. Those were really working.
Not have them. Yeah, exactly. So it's funny. And it's weird because there are some people who it's so instant. Some of them are so instant for them. It's like mind blowing. And that just wasn't my experience, but I for sure now I know. And it's funny. We will even say in our family, like somebody will be fussy or something. We're like, are you wearing your patches? And it's almost offensive because they're like,
oh yes. Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm not, but thanks for noticing that I'm grumpy or whatever.
Yeah. My boyfriend gets really mad because I'll be like, go put a patch on. He hates that. It's almost like saying like he does not like it, but I'm like, no, but seriously, like go put one on because you're a little high,
Exactly. So someone asked if 3-day trials. So it depends on what it's for. So we didn't even talk about the pain one. Oh, and I love that. So Danielle saying peace was instant. Some people it's instant. If people have extreme pain pain or some issue they've dealt with for a long time. It could be one or the other. It could be you're actually going to need to do it for 2 weeks, 4 weeks, or it could be it's instant, right? You instantly feel that difference. So I feel like 3 days is always worth it.
Wouldn't you say it would almost be like how much that person needs it? Like if someone's, would be how much it would work, how instant it would work. Don't you think?
Yeah. No, I do. I think so.
Okay.
And that, yeah, it's when it comes to pain, I think that's the only other one. It's interesting because pain is so individualized. I feel like that's the one that pain doesn't always even mean anything is wrong. My own example, actually, one of my biggest ones for pain that I forgot, this is one of my first ones, duh, but it was so short-lived, is that I had a really serious injury on my Achilles, and that was actually part of the reason I gained weight. I could not work out anymore. I couldn't walk very far. I mean, it was really, really messing with my life. And I had all healed, right? But I mean, I still had severe. So within 2 days, that pain was completely gone. And so what happens sometimes is, again, there's a disconnect. Your brain didn't get the message that that was healed. And so often pain is just a memory, right? And it's just stuck somewhere.
Wow.
And so freedom
crazy.
gets that loosened up, and yeah, it's crazy. And so we've had lots of people like that. We've had a lot of people actually that their pain is gone with peace, because they didn't realize that whatever their pain was holding on to was actually just stress or joy
Or muscle. Yeah. That's
so
right.
I don't know. It's wild when you start getting into that, of realizing, because people are confused about that too. They're like, I don't understand, because pain is a sacred messenger, right? Like you have to, like, pain is a messenger saying something's happening over here. So you're not cutting off that message. It's that our bodies and our nervous systems are so out of whack that oftentimes they're yelling when they just need to be whispering. Like, that really wasn't that big of an injury. You want to tell it to calm down, stop being dramatic. That's what freedom does. It's like, because when we have pain injuries around here, it takes away that, especially with kids, because they freak out so much about, you know what I mean? You see blood and you're like, blah! And it's really not even hurting that bad, right? So that's all you got to do. You put a piece on them, and then the freedom, and then it's like, oh, okay, well, that's really manageable. That's not even that
bad.
So,
yes.
Yeah, for a lot of reasons. And anyway, I think that's amazing, because we hear those. I've heard 2 stories this week about, and this is Monday, so 2 stories on Monday, right? Of like, I had neck pain forever. I had it for 30 years, and I put this patch on and it was gone in 15 minutes.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, how does that even, right? Both of them were similar stories. And so, yeah, it's because obviously whatever that wasn't real pain.
She's talking about what's not real pain and what is real pain and blah, blah, blah. My BS meter is just like through the roof. Because I'm listening to what she's saying. She's using all these fancy terms. She's very well spoken. She sounds very convincing. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, she's pretty well spoken. You know, she kind of sounds like she might know what she's talking about. Dog, they are peddling patches that have no ingredients. They are peddling patches that have no ingredients. I could put a regular ass sticker from my kid's coloring book on my skin. What? This isn't solving anything. This is not solving your pain. This is not solving your stress. It's a sticker. It's a sticker, dog. You just know the right words to say. You just have someone who is willing to manipulate you. These do absolutely nothing. The FTC complaints explains itself. We read them in the last video that I did about Super Patch. We read through a bunch of FTC complaints about how people were claiming that it was going to relieve pain, that it was going to cure cancer, that it was going to help you lose weight, all this stuff, cure anxiety, and it didn't do except for leave a rash on their skin. These patches do absolutely nothing, and they are extremely, extremely expensive. So just keep reminding yourself of that. Yes, they're using fancy terms. Yes, they're sounding convincing, who seem like they know what they're talking about, who seem like they care, but they have a financial gain in this. They're not going to be talking about this product or advocating for this product if they weren't making money off of it, period.
It was a miscommunication happening, right in your body.
Right.
It's crazy.
That's insane. Yeah. Well, I don't want to keep you too long, but I do want to ask you one more thing. Okay. Because everyone hears my reasons all the time. So if there's people on here, which there are, that are thinking about joining, they're like, I just don't know. Like, what would you say to them? And why would you say that this opportunity is so different? Like, what makes this different than anywhere you've been before?
Well, because you can genuinely help everyone. Like, if someone has a skin and a brain, then you're good, right? Like, and so that's huge. I got into network marketing because, well, two main reasons. I loved helping people, and I just wanted to be connected and have fun. Like, that was for real. At the time when I got into network marketing, I had 5 kids at the time. We had just moved. I was like by myself, and I just wanted community. And so now it's like, oh my gosh, not only do I have community, but I have this badass CEO who's like taking on big pharma, right? Like, that's right. I've been on this side of things for so long, standing alone, even
Right.
alone with my kids, protecting them for so many years. Like, so to be in a group of people who are doing the same and be able to offer something that, I say this thing all the time, and people get tired of me saying it, but if you're in a room with 100 people, whatever I've ever been able to offer in the past, whether I'm coming at it as from a practitioner standpoint, whether I'm coming at it from an MLM with supplements, whatever, I will be able to help a fraction of those people, right?
Right.
A fraction.
Right.
Because whether it's side effects, they don't like the flavor, like whatever it is, there's a fraction. Ingredients, they're pregnant, they're old,
right,
whatever. Like, you can actually help everyone. So I think that it's been super fulfilling to help. Not just am I helping people, but I'm actually helping people make a difference. Like, we have each of these people, and we talk about this all the time too, all the little niches that people are in, right? Because you have our niche with Rose, who works with the sexual trafficked women and the domestic abuse survivors. Like, that is her thing. These patches fit in that. She's actually dramatically helping these women and these survivors with these patches. They're seeing better results than they've ever seen, like that is incredible. And then not only that, but it's fully funding this ministry for her, 100% funding it because of how fast it's grown. We have our people working with veterans. Again, I feel like veterans are so overlooked. They're completely overlooked. Nobody's helping them. They have no options except for big pharma. And even then, they get the worst of big pharma. Nobody's helping. Right. And then you've got your nursing homes, your elderly, your retirement homes. We didn't talk about Liberty very much, but that is one that brings instant stability. Instant stability. So when you have people, when they're one of their greatest risks in life is falling, right? How much could one patch increase the longevity of their life? How much could joy increase the longevity of someone's life? Because of that optimism.
Absolutely.
Like, that's a huge thing. We have that entire neurodivergent community. We didn't even talk about that tonight. In the 19 years that I have been on this side of things and super passionate, I've never seen anything work as fast with the neurodivergent community as I have these patches. They're so simple, and they are absolutely dramatically changing these kids' lives. And that's somewhere I'm so passionate about, because these kids and their parents have been left for dead, right? Nobody gives about them at all. And they are living this hell day to day. I'm talking the ones that are, not every one of them are hell, but my friends know their lives have been hell, with serious major side effects or the vaccine injured, whatever.
Right.
And so to have anything that can bring some relief is like, it is amazing.
Right.
And again, we're helping people who love these communities impact their communities, right? That's what's amazing.
She's making it sound like they are helping all these people when, to me, I'm so sorry, you're just gonna have to ignore him. They're fighting. To me, these are just people in the community that are most vulnerable. So you are preying on the most vulnerable of our communities to peddle your non-ingredient sticker. In my opinion, that is a scam.
And we're doing it so simply, right? Like, it's just a very simple thing. I have multiple doctors under me, medical doctors and naturopaths. That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild. Chiropractors, massage therapists, yoga studios, gyms, like you name it, dentists, 4 different dentists.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. I think about that when my kids had to have major dental work from their heavy metal poisoning. And I'm talking major dental work, 0 meds for them. We used peace and freedom and then defend to help them heal afterwards.
Right.
That's freaking crazy. 6 and under, there were 3 of them, major dental work, no meds.
Wow.
Like,
That's insane.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your children had major dental work and you did not offer medication to them? Does someone not see the issue here? If this is not brainwashing at its finest, I don't know what is. These girls literally think that their no ingredient sticker is better than medication after having major dental surgery. That is how far gone they are. In my opinion, that is how far gone they are. They are not giving their children medication after having major dental surgery. How is this not an issue? How is this not child abuse? How is this not a cult? This sounds like cult-like activity in my opinion. You are not allowing your children basic human rights when having medical practices done on them because you believe that your no ingredient sticker can help them more. What the fuck, bro? What the fuck is going on?
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I love that we can help everybody because I'll tell you, like, I know you were in the supplement world too, but it's always, my doctor said I can't have this. I'm allergic to this ingredient. My kid doesn't like the taste of this, and then again, just throwing in the no competition is what's so amazing. I mean, when you're fighting for airspace on who has the best collagen, and you have to like explain why yours is better, like it gets exhausting, especially when you're on like your third company, your third collagen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then you're just hoping they're telling you the truth. You've got no way to know if that's really even the best, really, right? That's true.
Right.
And so it's hard.
Yeah.
So this has been like such a breath of fresh air, for sure, to be in somewhere where we're this safe and
Yeah, I shared my story a lot. I'm not even really a health and wellness girly. Like I usually make it this long in health and wellness. I'm big into beauty, but what really spoke to me, and Wendy, she's on here, is that, I have really bad anxiety, and I have health anxiety. So I can't even be helped with meds because I have anxiety about taking the meds, So my doctors were like, we don't know what to do with you. You know what I mean? So I've just lived this way, kind of got used to it until the past couple of years I've been getting really panicky. And Wendy was like, Crystal, there's nothing in this. And I'm like, I know, but what if it gives I was going all over it. I have health anxiety. So when I put one on and it took that away from me, I was like, do you know how many people suffer with anxiety that I can help? Like, this is insane. Like, I can just share that one story. And that is just incredible to me. And to be able to have an option for me when I have a headache. Like, my boyfriend tells me all the time, like, you've been complaining about this headache for 40 minutes. Go take something. And I'm like, no. I mean, like, it has to be, like, debilitating to make me take something. Yeah. So now I just put this patch on, and I'm like, this speaks to me so much just from the non-medical, like, medicine stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm, like, all in. And people are, like, surprised that I'm in this health and wellness company, but I'm like, dude, I can help so many people and feel good about it and not have to worry about any reactions or side effects that are going to hurt them or anything. It's just incredible. I love it here. I think it's so great. And, I want to thank you for coming on because I wanted someone to hear it from someone else other than me.
I get it. Well, thank you. It's always so fun. I love you. You are our team. Oh my gosh, like spark
Right.
of joy.
Everyone says that.
Yeah, you bring the fun. That's all we got to worry about. If you're there, it'll be fun. And I love that.
All right. Well, thank you.
Yay.
Have a good night. And thanks so much again.
Okay, so some parts in this video honestly left me speechless. It's quite literally disturbing to me how flippant they are with their children's health because they're relying on this no ingredient sticker to help them, which is completely disturbing in my opinion, and I feel like somebody should step in. I don't know who, I don't know how, but it just doesn't feel right, and it feels like they're in a freaking cult. This is so similar to stories that you hear from kids who got out of Scientology, who got out of cult groups that were like, yeah, my parents wouldn't let me do this. They wouldn't let me seek medical attention. They would just make us pray about it. They would just make us drink this drink. And you're like, dude, this is the same thing. This is literally the same thing. She's saying that she's not giving her kids meds because she would rather give them this sticker. And I just want to remind you guys, they're doing these Instagram lives because they want to make money off of you. The real goal is not to help people. The goal is for them to line their pockets. It's a multi-level marketing company. They need people under them in order to build themselves up in the ranks and get to the top. You have to have people under you in order to hit the ranks within a multi-level marketing company. So, with that being said, even though I have gone over this before, I just want to show it again because I like to reiterate it when we watch videos specifically on certain companies, because I don't know if you're coming into this channel and have seen every single one of my videos or if this is the first one you've seen. Without further ado, here is the compensation plan for the Super Patch Company. So, in order to stay active and to maintain bonuses within your team, you have to have at least $90 in personal smart ship. So, it is an auto ship program. It's just like Lavelle. They had stickers too. You opt in to have certain stickers sent to you every single month and you get added into a smart ship program. So, you have to have $90 in personal smart ship or $120 in retail sales, which means that you have to sell $120 worth of patches every single month just to stay active. If you want to hit above associate rank, which is senior associate, you have to have 2 active associates right below you. In total, you have to have 540 points, which is usually close to a dollar amount. It's usually a little under, like 75 cents equals 1 point. So 540 points in order to qualify to be in the second rank. If you want to go up to a team leader, you have to have 2 senior associates under you. So that means 2 people directly under you, and they have to have 2 people directly under them. So you're already building your pyramid. Within that, you have to have 3,000 points in order to qualify for your volume. So they are not doing this out of the goodness of their heart. I'm so sorry to tell you that. I know it sounds convincing, and I know it seems like they are trying to do good and actually trying to help people. They are just trying to do it to get a paycheck. This is what they're doing for a living. Somebody scammed them into it, and now they need to scam other people into it in order to even make their money back. So do not fall for this. Do not fall for a no ingredient sticker in order to maintain a healthy lifestyle. Go to the gym, eat right, get with a nutritionist, go see a doctor, do your blood panel, figure out what's actually wrong, figure out what's custom to you, and do it. Do not put this no ingredient sticker on you and expect all these problems to be solved, especially at the price that they are at. It is not maintainable in any way, shape, or form, and I would rather see you guys spend money on anything else. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I appreciate your support and I appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed so that you can see every single video I have done and every single one that is to come. In the comments below, can you guys let me know, do you prefer for me to do reaction videos like this one where you guys can see in real time what these MLM huns are doing, what they're talking about, how they're presenting themselves, or would you rather see more deep dives into these multi-level marketing companies where we can look into the compensation plan, we can look and see what lawsuits they're dealing with, we can look and kind of peek behind the curtain and see what does it actually mean to become a partner or to become an ambassador for these companies and what the qualifications entail, and really kind of get down to the nitty-gritty of what these companies are about. I'm trying to curate more of this content into what you guys really want to see, and I just want to make sure I'm giving you guys the content that is really beneficial for you so you can go out in the world, show this to people to possibly help them or to just educate yourselves. So let me know in the comments what is most beneficial to you guys, and I can kind of start offering a variety of what you guys suggest. As always, you can utilize my email below. You can send videos just like this one. You can send posts, pictures, and I will do commentary on absolutely all of it. This is how I create my content. All the videos you guys see are ones that people have sent to me and wanted me to do commentary on. So if you see something and you want me to feature it in a video and you want me to give commentary on it, feel free to drop it in the email link below. I will take a look at it. I will add it to my list and we will go from there. I also read personal MLM stories. I have a few in my email and I just keep forgetting that they're in there. I need to flag them so I can read them to you guys. But I do feel like it's impactful for people to actually listen to others' stories of being in multi-level marketing companies because you're not alone. It happens to a lot of people. It's easy to get sucked in. It's glamorous. They make it seem fun. They make it seem easy. And a lot of us have been victims of it. And I just want people to be reminded that you're not the only one that has been suckered into something like this. So I feel like other stories are beneficial. You guys have heard mine. You've heard other people's stories. And I feel like the more the merrier. Thank you guys for supporting me. I appreciate you guys so much. And as a reminder, you are worth more than the kickback your upline's going to get for recruiting you. Good night, guys.